cash out all your 401k at once. I still have to work to pay my bills.
Gotcha.
I don't have any retirement funds put away at all.
That was at 77 years old.
No retirement.
We didn't realize that Social Security would be so little.
The damage is already done.
Scale of 1 to 10, my health is probably a 6. They have enough left to cover my bills for 3 months. I can no longer work, so I survive disability benefits.
All right, so this is supposed to be like money lessons from our parents. You know, we're old, so from our parents, and they learned the hard way.
Well, I think this is them specifically talking to themselves, their younger selves.
Ah, so this is you. What would you say to your younger
made,
self?
Yeah.
To not make those mistakes, so maybe you can be a better older person.
Right.
Let's take a look.
Dear younger self, huh? That's how you want me to start?
Which part? The beginning?
No, read this first and then skip to that.
Dear younger self,
Dear younger self,
Dear younger self,
make sure you are paid what you're worth.
Save for retirement as much as possible.
Don't cash out all your 401k at once.
Ooh.
I only have about 3 months worth of bill payments in my savings account.
We make very little on Social Security.
I still have to work to pay my bills.
Gotcha.
I'm worried that my investments won't last me.
I don't have any retirement funds put away at all.
77.
That was at 77 years old.
No retirement.
He said he has no. What is the average living? Hey Siri, what is the average age expectancy of a male? Or I was gonna say life expectancy. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Siri ain't shit.
That was my time to whip out.
I'm
Google.
telling you,
Are
get
you ready
Google
now?
out.
Dear younger self,
Open up a Roth IRA and learn how to invest.
Don't pile up debt.
I would tell myself to hold on to my investment portfolio.
Save more and give less.
Your home is one of your biggest assets. Protect it.
True.
After I retired, I cashed out my entire 401k, deposited $110,000 for a down payment on the house. I also paid a
She paid $110,000 on a house.
That's not what she said.
What did she say?
She said she took it out for a down payment. Listen to what she's about to say.
She said she took it out for a down payment on $110,000.
Let her finish the whole statement.
Let me back it up so I heard
After I
it correctly.
retired, I cashed out my entire 401k, deposited $110,000 for a down payment on the house. I also paid a 45% income tax bill by taking all the money at once.
So, pause. So, she ended up paying, she probably got like 60 something thousand, which she used for a down payment. She took the whole thing and had to pay 45% of it in
So
taxes.
she took out the 110, really got 60, and then used the whole 60 to buy a house? Did she
a down payment.
A down for a down payment on the home? I wonder, did she have a place to stay already, and then, or she didn't have a? Well, she was.
Yeah, and I don't know what point in her life that happened.
That happened,
I
right?
opened a Roth IRA when I was 54 finally, and I put $6,000 in it and let it sit there because I didn't know that you were supposed to invest it.
I think if I were to just leave.
And remember, we're not laughing.
She literally just
at
loaded the
these,
account.
Yeah, we're not laughing at these people. We're laughing at the fact that people we don't know.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm laughing.
That's the funny part. We're not laughing
This person is even the number of people who don't even know to get the money to the Roth IRA. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying about the cliff that people are running to that no one is really thinking. She had part of the story. Did you realize how many people have none of the story?
Mm-hmm.
Me alone, not move it around,
That's
then
a
it would
fluffy
be
cat.
worth a lot more today.
Financial
So hair pink.
advisor explained to me that I had to invest it, and I did, and now it's over $41,000.
I would definitely advise younger people to put a maximum amount in their 401k or IRA match because that money grows over time.
Just imagine if I had knew how to do that, and when I was 25 instead of 55, it would be quite a
She
bit
look
more.
exactly the same.
It's way better if you plan something way ahead of time than wait till the end like we have.
Up we go. There you go. There you go. There you go. This is where he likes to sit. We didn't realize that Social Security would be so little.
Man, look at that chair.
Most of my debt has accumulated with things beyond my control. It's not like we go to Vegas and have a great time and run our credit card up, but we've always needed them as well when we fell on hard times.
I missed one payment on the credit card, and it just ballooned. Within 6 months, it completely doubled.
The Federal Housing Administration gave us a loan. The interest rate back then was 13 3/4, and it just grew so fast. Eventually, our loan was so big we couldn't manage it, and we ended up moving off of the farm.
And they just lost the farm.
Now we've had to go into thousands of dollars of credit card debt to pay our bills. We don't have a savings account anymore, and our credit scores are tanked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Will it go off if I put it on airplane mode? Will it ding ding?
Not the ding ding.
I have learned that in matters of finance, you have to make decisions
Oh, sheets on the couch.
without being overly emotional.
I don't even drive by my old farm. It's really a very negative part of my life when I see what we could have had.
I have always offered financial help to friends to help them get through a difficult time, not realizing I was less fortunate too.
When you get to our age, it's a little late in the game to try to fix it because the damage is already done. So if you're young and you're working, don't be afraid to put back an extra $20 a week or whatever, and don't touch it.
I'm currently an over-the-road trucker. My current financial situation is probably the reason I keep trucking at my age. I haven't seen too many 80-year-olds out there.
It's okay
That's a 77-year-old guy, right?
Yeah.
to
Okay.
care about people. However, you have to look at what it is costing you mentally and financially. You only have so many years to prepare for retirement.
And she was a teacher?
Looks like her when she was younger.
Dear younger self,
Prioritize your health to avoid financial and physical hardships.
Be prepared for unexpected expenses.
Things change, circumstances change.
I didn't plan on pancreatic cancer at the age of 62. But even with good insurance, chemo, surgery, radiation, and a second round of treatment when the cancer came back caused me to meet my annual $2,500 out-of-pocket maximum for the past 3 years.
My wife had her heart issue. Her income changed immediately.
My jobs were physically taxing, and I feel that contributed to some of the medical conditions. On a scale of 1 to 10, my health is probably a 6.
She was making over $50,000 a year plus benefits, and suddenly she couldn't work.
You know, people our age also, they never think of the idea of like not being well. So that's one of the things that I always talk to people about relationships. Relationships are a lot less optional than people think.
Yeah.
Like
I feel like we were like the last generation, like the first generation, like the invincible generation. Like we don't think about like the future as much. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like we think we don't get old. I wonder where these people live in relation to their economical, situation.
My savings have been spent on medical bills. I only have enough left to cover my bills for a few months. I can no longer work, so I survive on disability benefits. I can't afford any financial missteps.
See, that health factor right there really plays a part. See, Grandpa here at 80, he can still go on the road because thank God he's healthy enough
He has
right
to go
now.
on the road.
Right, but he can still go on the road physically right now. Probably shouldn't be, but he can go on the road for right now, thank God. I mean, hopefully he's done something to eliminate him having to go on the road, but because his health is still intact. But the young lady there, she can't do anything because she's disabled. So even if she wanted to turn her life around at a late age, there's nothing she can do on a physical standpoint because she's in a medical
I don't know if I
situation.
can retire anytime soon. It depends on if my health holds up. Dear younger self,
Don't retire early.
Continue working as long as you can.
I just wish I could have worked longer. It really would have helped us.
I lost my job. I was sort of forced into retirement.
When I was
I've heard that.
58, I had more than $500,000 saved for retirement. I turned in my retirement paperwork. What a mistake that was.
You sit around and get bored, and retirement's boring. It really is.
I have no desire just to lay on the couch and eat brownies every day, and I just think I have to stay active and do something.
All of a sudden,
Well.
I had no important decisions to make and no social network anymore.
Pause. Now here's a problem with Americans. She cashed out $500,000
$500,000.
to retire, and then somehow figured that she had no important decisions to make.
Wow. Well, I think because
Why? How on earth do you not think that you need to be like you become an investor in that situation?
I mean, at that age, she's assuming $500,000. She's rich. She doesn't have to do anything anymore. is what I'm assuming.
But again, why wouldn't? Okay, even if that's the case, why wouldn't you invest it so that it still continues to grow?
You seen the one, the pink haired lady? I think she said she just found out she had to.
I'm telling
the
you,
other day.
that's crazy.
I went from
Isn't your 401k an investment?
Yes. So, but what I'm saying, she cashed it out and she had $400,000.
Yeah, no longer have
She
investment
could have
anymore.
bought some stocks.
Yeah, she could have kept investing.
It would have kept going. She could have lived off of that. It would have kept growing. And I'm like,
Instead, she pulled out and then stopped.
and then
there.
just stop doing right when you
hoping I live a really long time to being worried that I will outlive my savings. It's not a great way to feel.
I tried to return to part-time work recently. No one's hiring, or if they are, they're not looking for people my age.
It's challenging to get a job when you're in your 60s.
I don't know if it's my age, but I rarely ever hear back from anybody.
I tried my best to look as young as possible.
I don't feel
So people think it's their
pink hair?
age?
I did not see a hard skill
No.
anywhere. She was a librarian, so I can't imagine
right
that she
here?
can't find work. Right? Like who wouldn't hire an older librarian? Like
Right.
why not?
It's a librarian.
very marketable at this point.
Honestly, I think they really don't want an old guy who's going to have to take a day off to go to the doctor.
What do you think he does right here?
Health something.
I had a
saw.
college degree and great office skills, but
Nope.
employers wanted a cute 20-something at the front desk.
See, no one told her that part of this problem is that you don't have any real skills.
She said she has a degree in office skills. She was
She has a
joking.
degree and office skills, not a degree in office skills.
Oh.
She had a degree and office skills, and
Which
it's
at
like
this point would be one and the same.
For the most part, even as sick as I am, I could probably outwork anybody in this neighborhood.
I don't think so. Probably not. Yeah, you don't have to prove that there, buddy. I'm sorry. You don't have it.
In February 2023, I finally started a full-time job with the state agency employer who was willing to give me a chance.
Nice.
I was 63.
I got my first freelance writing gig last week, so there's a new chapter to write, just when I thought it was time for the epilogue.
I'm also doing polymer clay sculptures. When I get stressed out, that's what I do. If I sell it, I feel even better.
You're
Nice.
good at it.
I'm good. Well, thank you. I'm good at it, I guess.
I'm working on becoming a content creator.
You ain't say that. You ain't say that.
But listen, in our generation, for us, we're the first generation that's literally gonna be a lot of old content creators, which, to be honest, there's gonna be some people who don't have the grandparent experience. And I mean, there are certain genres where old people kind of rule that arena, like gardening and stuff like that.
What type of old you think she bakes? Is she like a baker?
I mean, something. I'm just, it's there's going to be a lot of it in 20-25 years.
Yeah, I mean, if she does some, I don't know. You think her cooking to some
I'm not convinced
lo-fi?
of anything. I'm not
busting down
convinced.
some greens.
I'm not convinced she's skilled in anything, to be honest with you. Most people aren't. So
I wonder what. I hope that she fills us in on the content that she's about to create.
I want to give opinions on various things in society, Also traveling, camping, that kind of thing.
Okay, nothing.
I am happy right now because I have a great job. People say they have to go to work. I say I get to go to work.
Don't retire.
Don't retire. Work as long as you can.
No, I would do
really.
it in a New York minute, man.
Yeah.
I'd go back to work and love every minute of it.
No.
Listen, man,
As you
people
say,
better
dear younger
listen.
self, pursue a career you're passionate about.
Dear younger self, don't wait to embrace change.
Dear younger self, pursue a career that you're passionate about.
Find a
No.
passion, even if it's just a hobby.
Don't do that.
When I was
Find a passion when you get old.
younger, I also knew deep down that my teaching career didn't suit me.
Well, she's a teacher.
She was a teacher.
She was a teacher. And transferred to a librarian.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's like the final boss of a teacher. Isn't it?
I was a self-taught musician. In my early career, I was playing clubs, bringing home $150 to $200 a week, and that was back in the early to mid 70s.
Being a musician.
I started
Yeah,
playing
man.
guitar when I was about 11 years old.
Instead of jumping ship then, I dug in and pursued a higher degree in the same field, thinking the promotion would make up for the lack of personal satisfaction.
I moved away from music and got into jobs that offered a regular paycheck.
When I became a librarian, I did take a pay cut from my teaching career, but
Guess not.
it was well worth it to me because I loved going to work so much every day.
My biggest regret is not having followed through with my music. I still love it. I just can't do it as well as I used to.
You think he thinks he would have made it with his music, which is why he regrets giving it up? Or do you think he's unfulfilled right now, so he feels like, man, if he just was, he want to find that hobby and that passion?
I think unaccomplished people find comfort in the idea that that's right, that they could have achieved something. I think
I will say this: everybody who I speak to who is unaccomplished, especially in their later time in life, that is pretty much the same story that they give. It is, man, if I would have zigged instead of zagged in 78, oh gosh, the rest of my life would be
it all
completely
went wrong
different.
in 1996.
It
at
always
that,
do.
You know what I'm saying? Kickball tournament.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Goddamn Timmy Two Shoes. Goddamn got me out on second base, and it's never been the same.
But I still love it, though. That part will never die.
When you're playing and singing, and it just makes you feel good in general. And my wife likes to hear me sing, and I guess that's the reason I do it.
Pause.
Yep.
Now you seen the Pete and Boz older guys, right? The grandpas would be rapping and stuff.
Okay.
They're killing it on content right now.
Really?
So it's not. So that also goes to show, like, if you're talented and you have something to offer, like I've watched a lot of this stuff. It's amazing.
This is
that
like older guys
bro, they're
that are
spitting,
singing or
they're
rapping?
spitting so hard.
I would love to see this.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, I'll show you.
Walk through this world with me.
The one thing I think both Steve and I did right was we made sure that we took care of our parents.
One thing I know I did right was staying connected with people.
My financial choices allowed me to raise and support my children while teaching them to be independent and socially responsible.
Unexpected changes make living in the moment a good skill to have, and I'm always ready to shift gears when needed.
I live on my farmland. I am fortunate to own the land and live mortgage-free.
Okay, she at least
Take
did
it
that
one day
right.
at a time. I'm thankful.
She don't sound like she went into debt though with her situation. At least with a house.
She's lucky if she gets enough Social Security to pay the taxes every year.
and keep the lights
I
on.
made it through the day and get up the next day and do it again.
My greatest accomplishment is having 3 beautiful daughters who are educated, caring, and productive members of society. That is worth more than all the money in the world.
Fair.
Mostly we just want to get somewhere where at least there's community, where people seem to care for each other.
I can't waste time looking back at what might have been. My choices, good or bad, are my responsibility.
Somewhere along the way, I learned to approach life with curiosity instead of despair. And that's when everything became adventure instead of trepidation. That's
I like
when
that
life
word.
got really good. I hope you start earlier than I did. But first, open up that Roth IRA. Love, your much older self, Nancy Seeger.
I love your voice.
Oh, thanks. All that reading to kids. No.
Okay. Might have to do take 2 on this one.
Dear younger self, yeah.
But then
Yeah,
mine's not.
yeah, just skip to the next page then. See,
Oh,
it's
that is-
highlighted.
Okay, I got it. I could never be an actress.
Wow. That was amazing.
I'm telling you, man.
I
It's-
think that was very, very eye opening. And if you didn't get any value from that, then something's wrong with you. You may not have a pulse.
I feel like, those like subject 1,
Yeah.
that might be something you need to send subject 1.
Yeah, that was pretty eye opening. Of people eventually, and I know we heard this word earlier, finding extrinsic instead of finding extrinsic, they find intrinsic value in themselves, and they feel like, oh, I found a passion, or this is what I love. The greatest thing that I did is have 3 kids, or this means more than that. And my music, my love for my passion for music is way more than diamonds and gold and this, that, and the third. And like you said, this only comes from, the people who are underachievers or haven't necessarily prepared themselves in life. And I think the 80-year-old truck driver was probably the most, shocking one to me, where he's still on the road away from his wife. And
I mean, my thing is at 77. Like, let's say you say you've been a trucker this whole time. Let's say so you've been doing this since you were 70. You haven't been financially responsible enough in the last 7 years to not be in a tough situation. Like, what?
Man, what
are you doing?
Like we've seen time and time again. I've been there. I've had friends that been there, over 15, 20 years. I mean, guys are only upgrading $8 to $10 an hour. If
Man,
that.
I'm telling you, I learned a long time ago that, what did they say? Like, young fools become old fools.
Oh,
the
my
old
goodness.
fool was once a young fool.
I'm telling you. New fool get born every day, bro.
Yeah, man. Like, that's why I want people to see stuff like that and decide that now is the time to invest in yourself, so you are worth more. It's not enough to just dream. It's not enough to just speculate on what may happen at some point in time. You're gonna actually have to do the hard work, do the heavy lifting.
Now is that time to definitely change your thinking first and foremost. Admit that you have an issue going on financially, and that you want to do something about it, and figure out what that thing is that you can lock on to. Forget all that find a passion and all that thing. You need to go on Indeed.com and find out who's paying, what job is paying the money that you would like to make. Look at those job responsibilities, and every day make sure that you cross off 1 or 2 of those bad boys, and then start applying to jobs like that. And as you keep applying, you keep enhancing those skills in that field that you are already looking into.
Right. Stop feeling like you have to go enroll in someone's school or someone's cert. Like, people use phones all day, every day. Google what you need, and put your hands on something and do something, build something. Go in the garage and tinker. Go in the park and tinker. Figure something out. Like, you don't have to sit around and wait for somebody to hand you everything.
No, you don't have to go back to school. You see the teacher or the librarian, or I think that was her, who said that instead of going to find another type of skill, she went to school in the same profession just to get a promotion. You know what I mean?
And if you're incapable of doing this level of work and effort to enhance your self-value, then the other option is to want less, so that you are not miserable. Like, you don't, that's it. If you can't meet the mental burden, then you should not want the things that you want. You should be happy with a very baseline life, very, below your means, very basic,
speaking of below your means, you know, I don't know when that video is going to come out, but we were recapping a video of a guy who was like, man, he's not going to want to keep up with the Joneses anymore. He doesn't want to live like this.
Right.
And he didn't even realize, as bad as he had it right then, where he wasn't paying rent on time, he didn't have any money, had 2 kids at least. And that's just because of the child safety seats that we seen while he was doing his video. And you still don't want to find a skill to actually do something about it. And instead, you say you don't want to keep up with the Joneses, not realizing that how you live right now, you're still living above your means. You can't even afford what you're doing now. So like you said, if you don't want to live like the Joneses or save for retirement and things like that, then you got to live way below what you're probably doing right now just to survive. But if you enjoy content like this, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And there's not a video coming up now. It's coming up right now.
Hold up.
Worst.